Annabelle was diagnosed in utero at 26 weeks with hypoplastic left heart syndrome, meaning that the left ventricle of her heart was severely underdeveloped to the point where it had little to no function.
And the valves on the left side of the heart are typically too small. All of that adds up to a left-sided heart which is not going to be large enough or strong enough to do its work. It's one of the most severe congenital heart defects that there are.
And instantly I thought, how can a newborn be born with heart disease? That's just not something that you ever hear about.
The treatment for hypoplastic left heart syndrome most typically follows a pathway of 3 operations. First with what's called a Norwood operation, which is performed in the first week or so of life, and then another operation at 6 months, 4 to 6 months of age, called the Glenn procedure, and then another operation, the Fontan procedure, which is typically done somewhere between 18 months and 3 years of age.
When she had her Fontan, which was her last surgery, she was about 2.5 years old. And that's hard to explain to a 2.5-year-old that, you know, they're about to have surgery, they can't get out of bed, run around. I mean, it's just a hard age to explain to them. The people here are awesome. From the time you check in, we've got to where we know the people on like a first name basis. And then our nurses, just the amount of love that they've put in. They've watched her grow up. I mean, with these kids, they come in when they're, newborns to have this first surgery. And it's like they keep tabs on them until, you know, they make it through that Fontan, and at that point, even after. I love you. They do vitals and get her prepped, and then they take her off to surgery. For her Fontan, it was about 6 hours. I remember waiting about 8 for her Norwood, which was a long time to sit. Our family's been awesome. They've came to everything that we've had. They've sat out in the waiting room for hours upon hours waiting on answers. And
Questions for me?
No,
Of course.
but I'll have to give you a hug.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad everything turned out so good.
We appreciate it.
All right, good. We'll see you up there.
All right,
Okay,
thank
bye-bye.
you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I guess I can stop being nervous now. That I had researched other hospitals, and Dr. Peeler just, from the moment I met him, you could tell he told me his success rate with his surgeries, which is much higher than the general population of hypoplastic left heart kids' success rate. And that kind of won me over. And so after that, they'll come get you and you get to go back and see them, which is tough. I mean, after you send a perfectly healthy looking child into there and then they come out and they're covered in cords and wires, and it's like you have to learn everything all over again. It was a long day, but we made it through it.
And now she's graduated from all 3 procedures and is doing pretty well, is doing well at home. She'll be followed very closely by our cardiology team throughout her life.
Annabelle loves to play. She does not stop talking. She runs around constantly, especially since her last surgery, because she has more energy than I know what to do with. And she just recently started dance class. I hope that the future holds a long and a healthy life, even though she'll constantly be followed by doctors and, you know, she'll have checkups. But I hope that, you know, she grows up and she wants to go to college, and I'm hoping that she'll want to be an advocate for her heart condition. You know, there's a lot of parents that just give up on the situation whenever they hear the odds of these kids. And I'm not going to tell anybody it's going to be easy, because it's been the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life. But it is so worth it at the end of the day whenever you have that child to be able to hug and hold.
It's a very neat thing. I mean, what I do is, it's a privilege to be able to do it, work on their heart, and to help kids and families. We have a fantastic team, and we have a team that really works well together and is really passionate about this. And that shows every day in the clinic and the hospital with the way that patients and families are taken care of.
We love this hospital. We love coming here. Even if it's not under the best terms, we come back and visit probably every 2 months, just because to us this is like our second family.